Good morning. This is my research presentation poster project. The project was on Story Map Graphic Organizers Improve Reading Comprehension in Students with Autism. Researchers have proved that students with autism spectrum disorder have a challenging time with reading comprehension because they do not understand the figurative language of or how to decode information. During the past decade, autism is becoming more prevalent according to the Individuals with Disability Act of 2004. Students with autism have a developmental disability significantly affecting verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction, generally evident before the age of 3. This adversely affects a child's educational performance. Researchers have suggested that the deficit in theory of mind, weak coherence, and executive function limits their reading comprehension skills. These challenges cause students to lose interest and motivation in reading, therefore causing them to read below grade level. Examination has proven that the use of graphic organizer improves students' ability to recall facts, understand the text, and paint a mental picture of what they are reading. Researchers have determined that the use of story mapping graphic organizers is an effective visual strategy to enhance reading comprehension for students with or without disabilities, according to Narcon and Wells in 2013. The purpose of this study is to determine if the use of story mapping graphic organizers aid in the development of reading comprehension in students with autism. The question was, does the use of story map graphic organizers aid in the development of reading comprehension in students with autism spectrum disorder? This research was conducted in a public middle school located in Miami-Dade County, Florida, in a self-contained special education classroom with 5 7th grade students with ASD. The literature review states that students with autism have a variety of challenges, including difficulties with social interactions, communication, and behavior flexibility. That was stated by Scriber, Robbins, and Solomon in 2014. The authors also mentioned that these students display unique personality features, including unique personality tendencies. The article studied to those typically developed adults. The authors studied whether any observed personality alterations simulated in children and adolescents with typical adults according to self-impairment reports of personality. It determined that individuals with autism were more anxious and less extroverted, friendly, thorough, and open to experience. These personality differences replicated for children, adolescents, and adults, though they suggested that individuals with autism have distinct personality compared to typical individuals. Exodi, Lajeunesse, and O'Neill studied the learning curve for students with neurological disorders such as autism. In this study, visual and auditory learning was the focus. The authors stated that children with autism demonstrated a relative weakness in the rate of acquisition of visual in context of verbal learning compared to a typical individual. The authors also noted that individuals with autism showed intricate patterns of association. Overall, between group variances were more likely to arise during the visual learning task, signifying that it may be more complex for detecting neurodevelopmental differences. The research methodology. The teacher provided intervention by using a story map graphic organizer for 6 weeks. The students were engaged in reading the Scholastic Level Reader books and then would complete the story map graphic organizer with details from the text such as the setting, the plot, the characters. The students completed the story map graphic organizer when they read the first section of the story. They also completed another one when they finished reading the story. When they finished completing the graphic organizer, the researcher graded them according to the accuracy of the details that the students provided. They completed 1 graphic organizer per intervention. Hence, the researcher collected a maximum of 4 student work samples of completed story map graphic organizers a week. This is the data, the pre-data. This compares the information from iReady, the iReady assessments, the Scholastic Level Reader assessments, and in addition to the Flint Cooper Comprehensive Reading Guide. And this is the post-intervention data. The students improved Some students improved their reading comprehension skills. The Scholastic Reader Passage results. This is the data from week 1 all the way to week 6. Student A, week 1, was scored a 69, and by week 6 he was scoring a 79, so he improved by 20 points. Student B began with a 55, and the last he ended with a 70. Student C, the initial week it began with a 48 and ended with an 80. Student D with a 49, and when the intervention ended, he was getting a 77. Student E began when the first week of the intervention was a 67, and the last week of the intervention scored a 79. Student C was the student that showed the most improvement, jumping from a 48 to an 80. The data collected revealed that all 5 students made significant gains with the story map graphic organizer than without it. During the intervention, the students were to read the Scholastic Level Readers, mini passages, and complete the graphic organizer. After the students would complete and discuss the organizer's information with the class, they were to take the quiz at the end of the story. The quiz consisted of 15 comprehension questions that included information about the characters, the plot and theme of the story, and higher order questions where the students were to respond to the author. Student C made the most gains as shown in the graph on the data. The limitations to the research was that some of the participants would be absent the day of the interventions. The interventions would have to be rescheduled at times. The graphic organizer does not provide room for vocabulary instruction. There are times where the students needed to make inference but were not able to since the organizer did not discuss any vocabulary in the choices. I also believe that the intervention did not have a decent number of participants since only 5 of the students completed the requirements to participate in the research. The story map graphic organizer provided students with an ability to dissect the information that they read and paint a mental picture. That was the implication. These are the references and acknowledgement. Special thanks to Dr. Kramer, Holly, for helping me with APA formatting, and the students and the parents who participated in this research, and to my family for the inspiration and assistance in completing this assignment. Thank you very much. I hope you will have a beautiful day.